Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I hope you guys are so excited for this new class. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking about three things that are very important in Python for you that are starting. And don't worry if you don't know anything about programming. We are going to start today from the very zero. So to start with, I want you to browse into your computer and create a new folder. And this folder you can save anywhere in your computer. But for me particularly, I'm gonna save in my desk area. So you guys go ahead and create this new folder, and I'm gonna save with the name of Python projects. And now I want you to go and open your Visual Code. I have a lot of projects on, and if you want to open a new window, you can right click on the icon of the Visual Code and click right here in the new window, and this is gonna open. If you're not familiar with the interface of the Visual Code, don't worry, because we're gonna be talking about this, and you're gonna get familiar as I walk you through uh, the first paths of learning Python. So here in this bar here, you see that the first thing is the file. I want you to go and click on the file, and I want you to go here and click on open folder. So once you click your open folder, you go ahead and open the folder that you created. So I created on my desk area, and so I'm gonna open it right now, Python projects. And so you have this right here, this area. This is basically a presentation of your folder, and we're gonna create our first Python file. So to create your Python file, you just click right here in this icon with the plus. Not in this one, because this one is a new folder. So you just click right here, and I'm gonna type first step, and then it has to be O together, and then you're gonna type dot py so that Visual Code recognizes it as a Python file. Click enter, and so we have here our first Python file. And okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the Python variables. Let me go ahead and okay, so what is a variable? Just to explain to you what is a variable, I I want to define what is programming. Programming, we understand as the way that we can manipulate information and all sorts of data. And in order for you to manipulate all that information and all that data, you have to have a container where you can hold those data and all those information, so that later you can manipulate it. So uh, let's see a variable. Let me type right here, variable. So a variable is basically a container that contains that you can put a lot of things in there. Um, And you might be asking, what can we put in a variable? So in a variable, we can put all sorts of data type. In Python, we have at least 12 types of data type. And those data type are the numeric data type. We have the text data type. We have the Boolean. We have sequence. We have mapping. We have set. We have binaries. We have known. We have custom, or I would say the user defined data type. What else? We have this special data type. We have date and time, and files or file data type. So today we're not gonna talk about all of these kind of data type. I just want to focus on these two ones. These two ones. We're gonna focus in text data type and numeric data type. Okay. So in numeric data type, we can observe two types. We see the ints. Ints are basically all the whole numbers, which is 1, 2, 3, and so on, all the whole numbers. And we have as well floats, which are all the decimal numbers, which every number that has a decimal point. You can, and so on. In text we have strings. So strings is any type of character that can be put in a line. And the way that you declare a string in Python is to use double quotes or the single quotes, and put everything that you put in between these two things you can consider as a string, all the characters that you can put in there. Okay, let me go back to Visual Code. And so we talked about variables. So how do you declare a variable? The name itself, it's explanatory that it varies. So you can actually choose the name of your own choice. And let's say first name. Well, now in Python, when you declare a variable, we really don't use this space right here in between the words. So we use the underscore to space the words. And then if you want to store anything, remember that I said that you can store anything in a variable. You just have to use the operator equal, and then let's say my first name is John. Okay, so we said that if we want to have a string, we have to enclose it with single quotes or double quotes. So this is a string in Python. Let's say let's declare another variable and say age. let's use a numeric data, which is just a number, int, uh, age, let's say 60. That's it. Um, let's say last name. Uh, let's say can't. So that's it. That's very simple. The way we declare a variable and we store uh, the data or the information that we want to store in a variable. Just be careful always to use the underscore to space the variable names, and always use the operator equal to then store what you want to store in a variable. And uh, for for numeric data, you always just type the number, and for strings, you can put uh, the string and then enclose it with double quotes or single quotes. It's the same thing. You can even put here a number, and it's gonna be considered as a string because of the quotes. All right. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna talk about, so we've already talked about the variables, and so the next thing is the function print. Okay, so what is a function? So a function is basically a line of code that has parameters, and when you pass the parameter, it is able to accomplish a task. So in this case, the print function is a function that we can use basically to tell the computer, a display this, and we can ask the print function to display any of the things that are in a variable, or anything that is a data if you pass the data as a parameter. Okay, let's go ahead and in Python, let's give some examples. Let's say I want to tell the computer to display my first name on the screen. I would just use the print function and parentheses. And if you see, Visual Code already gives you an idea what should go in between the parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and print my first name. So I would just type the variable name in there, first name. And let's say I want to run my program to see my first name to be displayed. To run your program, you just come here where you see is an icon of a bug. Click in there and clicking run debug, and then click on Python file, and wait, and thus we see our name in there, John. Okay, let's do a couple more things. Let's say I want to print number 4. Here you can go ahead and run your program, John and 4. So you basically get the idea of how we can use the function print. And to finish, we're going to be talking about the other function called input. Okay, so this function input, the way we're going to use it is a way to prompt the user for something, and we can store this thing that the user puts in a variable. So it can return any type of data. For example, input, uh, let's put this in quotes, input, what is your last name? And so what is it gonna do is that it's gonna make the computer ask the user to input their last name. So the thing inside of the quotes doesn't really determines if the user has to put only their name or something else. It's just a customizable thing in here. You can ask anything, and it's gonna return the input of the user. So we wanna store that return into a variable. So what is your last name? And I can put last name. You can't, because we already have a variable with last name. We can't have two variables with the same name. So I would put last name to equals input. Then let's run our program and see what is your last name. And I can type in here and enter. So with that being said, let's use all the stuff that we just learned into a small program that prompts the user their last name, and then it displays their last name and their age and maybe their first name, and displays it into a screen. Okay, so let's start right here. Let's use this. Last name. And let's prompt the same thing for the first name. What is your first name? And then we can also prompt their age. How old are you? And then we want to display it after the user inputs all of this. We can display it into the screen. The way we're gonna do it, we're gonna use the print function. We're gonna say hello hello, and then we can use their last name. Hello, last name. So we're gonna use a plus to combine strings, and you kind of get the idea. So I'm gonna put in hello, their last name, and we will use strings to combine. We will use the plus sign to combine strings. Hello, John. Let's say John Kennedy. Their first name. We kind of have to have a space So we're gonna use double quotes and space just to give space in between the words. And we can use a comma in here as well. So we're gonna display hello and their last name, comma, their first name, and then let's display another string saying you are. Let's display their age. Let's put a space. You are. Let's display their age, and then a space again. Then display years old. I hope that's not too confusing for you guys that are starting right now. And so we're gonna run the program right now. So it prompts for my last name, Kent. My first name, let's say Jose. And then how old am I? 20. And then it displays, hello Kent, Jose, you are 20 years old. And if you see right here, my Jose is together with you, so it's that because we didn't leave a space right here. So we would have to use the quotes again to put a space. And that's it. So let's run the program again. For last name, Kent. First name, Jose. How old am I? 20. And then, hello, Kent Jose. You are 20 years old. So, this is our small program. I hope you liked the lesson today. If you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to comment and like and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell notification so when I upload the next video you're gonna know. So thank you guys for your attention, and I will see you in the next lesson.